video, I want to talk about why you might be gaining weight even though you think you're in a calorie deficit and therefore should be losing weight. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jodie and I help you change your beliefs so you can change your body, your health, and your life. So I see this mentioned online frequently. Someone started working out, they've started eating in a calorie deficit, and the scale is going up even though their goal is weight loss, and the scale should be going down because they're in a calorie deficit, right? And this isn't including fluctuations. The scale is trending up over time, and it's not just a daily fluctuation up and then it kind of goes back down and then it trends down. This is the scale is going up even though this person is in a calorie deficit or thinks they are. Why does this happen? Yes, you could be building muscle and adding mass to your frame if you've just started weightlifting. But if you are actually in a calorie deficit, regardless of the weightlifting component, you should see the scale going down. So the short answer is, if the scale is going up, you're not actually in a deficit, even if you think you have calculated everything correctly. Or what commonly happens is someone will use the deficit number that they got given a few years ago. Your calorie requirements will change throughout your life based on different reasons. Yes, hormones do have an effect. Age does have a small effect. Your dieting history has a huge effect. So you can't just go back to using a number that you were given a few years ago. Let's say you have recalculated that number again. If you need help doing this, there is a free guide on my website you can download to walk you through it. But even if you have recalculated this number and done everything correctly, you might find the scale is still going up. So let's walk through the 3 common reasons why this might be the case. So first of all, you're simply not tracking everything that you are eating. You're taking little bites of food here and there, you're adding oil to things and you're not tracking the oil, you're going out frequently and not tracking those meals correctly. Because when you go out, even if there is only 3 things on your plate, say you order something really simple, there's some potato, there's a steak, and there's some green beans. You might be underestimating the portion size that you've been given, and you also might be missing certain ingredients they have put in that are hidden that make the food taste better. Usually this is some kind of oil or butter or cream, some kind of fat, right? And fat contains a lot of calories, so it can very easily increase the amount of calories in that meal. So if you are eating up frequently and you are trying to be in a deficit, you really need to overestimate everything, and then also use your hunger signals as a cue as to how many calories were really in that meal. Now, the next common reason that you are not in a deficit, even though you think you are, is that you are not being consistent enough every day of the week. So you might have some days where you're really good during the week, usually around work time. The weekends, you kind of just forget about tracking, or you forget to add things again and you're not as strict. And that's where you bring yourself out of a deficit. It is really easy, especially when you're dieting, to forget about food that you have eaten. So you have to be super strict with yourself and either track as you are going throughout the day, or track your day in advance and then make sure you follow that tracking as a meal plan for yourself. Now, the last reason that you might think you're in a deficit but you're actually not is that you have changed your general activity levels. You might think that you're doing the same amount of activity, but something that happens when you go into a deficit is the body tries to level things out, and so subconsciously your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so all the kind of subconscious movements, how I'm moving my hands right now, getting up and down off the chair a few times a day, or fidgeting and stuff like that, that all requires energy, right? And so your body will start to do this less to try and bring you out of a deficit because it doesn't want to change. That is why it's super important to make sure you are accounting for this in some way, and the best way to do that is to use a step target. Maybe you've deliberately slowed down some of your activity because you think you're doing enough by just going to the gym more frequently. Exercise activity actually accounts for less of your total daily energy expenditure than what your non-exercise activity does. And so that is why making sure you are walking daily and moving enough, just gentle movement. It doesn't have to be intense and get your heart rate up. It doesn't have to feel hard. Easy movement is really good for the body. It's really good to help you stay in a deficit and that you are doing everything right with your food. If you take care of all of that, in most cases, the scale is going to start moving down. You just have to be patient enough. You have to wait for, I want to say 8 weeks, because I just see this happen so often in clients. It takes quite a while for the body to actually start recognizing that deficit almost, and the scale to start moving down. Just because it doesn't look like it's happening at the start doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening. But if the scale is going up and it is trending up consistently, even at the start, that is a good sign that you haven't accounted for your activity properly, or you are really not tracking every single little thing that you are eating. That is all for this video. I hope it helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you liked it, please like it. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And if that's the case, I will see you in the next video.